Have you ever wondered where that sound comes from? You know, the secret knock. It's actually a old barbershop jingle from the 1700s. It originally went, "Come and get your hair cut." But now that we got the small talk out of the way, we can talk about the important stuff. That important thing being, making a comic book. Now, I've been studying making comic books for about 5 years. That's been my dream for a really, really long time. So, you know, I kind of know what I'm talking about, but don't take my word as law. Just because I've been studying it for a long time doesn't mean I know everything. Now then, let's move on to lesson 1. Now, in my opinion, the best part about any comic is the characters and their designs. So today we're going to be talking about character design. Now then, character design is one of those really simple yet hard things that you can do. It's incredibly easy to learn, but also really easy to mess up. Even I mess up on it. Like my most previous character, I really didn't end up liking her design too much. I actually ended up redesigning her, which is what I'm going to be showing you inside this video. The step-by-step process I chose to redesign this character. Now, let's get started. Now, before you design any character, you always want to think about their personality first. Mainly because their design is a reflection of their personality. As much as I don't want to bring up him, he is a great example of what I'm talking about, and that character being SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, SpongeBob is a very simple character to understand. He loves his job, and he's a very happy guy. Mainly speaking, the square part. He is a square in the literal sense and the metaphorical sense. He loves his job. He does things by the book all the time, so he's literally a square. And for the happy part, well, he's always smiling. He has the rosy cheeks and the squiggly lines to kind of try to emphasize the more lighthearted part of his character. Now, you're probably wondering why I start talking about shapes out of nowhere, besides the fact that, you know, SpongeBob's square. Well, that's because they're actually really, really important to character design, believe it or not. There's only 3 main shapes you gotta keep track of, mainly because most shapes are just different versions of themselves. And the 3 main shapes you gotta keep track of are triangles, circles, and squares. And which shape you use will usually depend on the character's personality, because it will emphasize the personality. What I mean by this is that when you use a square, it's usually for more tight-laced, uptight kind of characters, or very headstrong kind of characters, or dumb blockheads. Circles are usually for your cutesy characters, your very lighthearted characters, and your very silly characters. And triangles are usually used for your very edgy characters, your very fast characters, your very quick-witted characters. Your very smart characters usually have the triangle, and your very edgy characters usually have the triangle as well. Having said that, doesn't mean you can't use a triangle for a silly character, you can't use a square for a quick-witted character. That's subverting expectations, which I highly suggest you do. That's always really nice, but, you know, generally, those are the shapes you want to use for those characters. Now, the next part is symbolism, which is my personal favorite thing about character design ever. Now, symbolism is really easy to wrap your head around. Now, if the character is like gluttonous, like the character we're designing right here, you put like teeth around them, and you make stuff look like tongues and mouths to kind of get that point across without even just saying that they're gluttonous or that they're evil or whatever. And an amazing example of this is the main character of everybody's favorite anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Part 3. Now, if you look at Jotaro's hat, there's actually a back of a tarot card on it, which is very cool because, you know, if you know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, every stand, for the most part, is named after a tarot card. So it's really cool that he thought about that from the character design standpoint. It's just honestly a really cool detail that he didn't need to put in, but he did. Now, symbolism is really fun, but it's really easy to overdo. I suggest doing 1 to 3 symbolism items. Now, it doesn't matter how big the symbolism items are, like if they're priests that can carry around a giant cross, but, you know, don't overdo it. Now, they can go without saying that you can do things like on the person as well, like scars and stuff like that for symbolism items. It doesn't have to be, you know, a giant cross and stuff like that. And do keep in mind, symbolism items aren't referring to your story, they're referring to things that the readers will recognize. So if you have like a necklace of like a door, that's not a symbolism item, that's just a plot device. Now then, for the final part of character design, the silhouette test. Now, this isn't the most important part, but if you really want to get people to be like, oh yeah, it's that character, you want to do the silhouette test. Now then, the silhouette test is very simple to understand as well. It's the silhouette of your character. What I mean by this is just take your character, paint bucket tool, or fill it in with black. I don't care how you do it. Just make the entire character black except for the outmost line of the character. And if you can still recognize the character through the silhouette, then that's good. That's what you want. You want to have not a boring silhouette. A lot of the best character designs do not have boring silhouettes. Some of them do, but, you know, they're so popular that you can still recognize them anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much all about character design. I know this is a shorter video, but honestly, character design is, like I said at the beginning, it's really easy to understand. It is like rock, paper, scissors. What I mean by this is that it's easy, but you can get absolutely screwed over by any little thing for seemingly no reason. Anyway, I hope this video helped you guys out learning character design. Like I said, I'm sorry this is a shorter video, but there's really not that much to talk about. But yeah, this is my grand return to YouTube. I'm gonna be talking about comic books and character design. I'm also gonna do reviews again as well. That was always fun. But yeah, hope you guys liked the video. You know, I don't really care at the end of the day. I just hope you learned something. If you didn't learn anything, why the fuck are you here? I mean, like, serious. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I don't really have an upload schedule. I'm not gonna make an upload schedule. I don't know. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like stressing myself out more than I already am. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you guys for the next one. We'll be talking about the structure of a comic book page. But yeah, see ya.